The Competition Commission has prosecuted the banks for collusion. The Competition Commission today referred a collusion case to the tribunal for prosecution against several banks, including Standard Bank and Absa. The Commission has been investigating a case of price fixing and market allocation in the trading of foreign currency pairs involving the rand since April 2015. It has now referred the case to the tribunal for prosecution. The Commission found that from at least 2007, the respondents had a general agreement to collude on prices for bids, offers and bid-offer spreads for the spot trades in relation to currency trading involving the US dollar or the rand currency pair. Or further, the Commission found that the respondents manipulated the price of bids and offers through agreements to refrain from trading and creating fictitious bids and offers to particular times.
We believe that Treasury has always been soft on financial institutions. That is why, as the ANC Youth League, we've been saying Treasury must transform from top to bottom. It is not only Pravin who must move away from the department, because these things continue to happen and these banks continue to be defended by Treasury. We raised this thing sometime last year. We said the Competition Commission must zoom in on Absa, Barclays, Goldman Sachs, and other financial institutions. They did zoom in. And guess what? What we have been saying has been proven to be true. They have been fixing prices in order to make sure that they collapse the rand. They owe us apartheid debt. You've got institutions like Moody's who can no longer be credible. The whole financial sector is in shambles. And Treasury is supposed to act and exercise discipline. If they are fined in the US, why are they not being fined here?
The South African main banks, main white-owned banks, are law unto themselves. They are a criminal gang. They brutalize at will whomever they consider a problem in terms of maintaining their profits. As we all know, they shut down businesses' accounts in basically protecting the interests of white monopoly capital. These are criminal agents, these are criminal organizations, and they need to be treated as such. That is why we're marching to the Reserve Bank. The South African Reserve Bank is the biggest protector of these banks, because the Minister of Finance, Pravin Gordhan, has got shares. He said, in these banks, he's a direct beneficiary of criminal activity.
These are 17 international banks working together to make profit. Yes, that is questionable behavior, but it has got absolutely nothing to do with the race. It's a bunch of traders who are doing it not for any political motivation, other than, they want to make profit, because if they make profit, they get paid bonuses. So the problem is not white minority capital, but rather just general human greed on a global scale. When we see things like Nenegate, that is almost a catalyst. So perhaps the reaction that we saw to Nenegate was not actually, that reaction that the market gave, where the currency slid incredibly far in a very short period of time. In a situation like that, I think that perhaps with people working together, they could push the currency further than what it rightfully should be.
This actually brings the whole credibility of the fake bill into question. That if we are saying we are trying to combat corruption and we outsource the power to manage corruption, to corrupt people, I mean, really, what is this? This on its own should be a reason why the fake bill should be reconsidered. One of the statements we made is that banks do not have the moral authority to be given this major responsibility of having basically law outsourced to them. This now, what has happened, this rogue activity by these banks is the clearest sign that banks cannot be trusted with the lives of the people. As Progressive Professionals Forum, we're going to write to the President once again to say we need to reconsider the various executive authorities that are in this bill.
The South African Reserve Bank has gone on the defensive after the Competition Commission's announcement. South African Reserve Bank says that the investigation relates mainly to international institutions that colluded in the foreign exchange market. The SARB and FSB process was already underway to review foreign exchange operations in South Africa when the probe was launched. Well, the South African Reserve Bank review found no evidence of serious misconduct in the South African foreign exchange market, and should any irregularities be revealed as part of the watchdog's probe, appropriate action will be taken. The ANC has hit out strongly at the rand fixing charge against South African banks. ANC says that the bank's indictment is a further indication of how the markets are and can be manipulated. The party has also raised questions about whether the currency was manipulated with politically motivated intentions. The ANC has now called upon the Competitions Tribunal to level the harshest possible sanction against the banks where they are found guilty. Well, the party has also called upon the government to learn a lesson from this expose and move with the greatest urgency to diversify the financial services sector. Meanwhile, the ANC Women's League has reacted with outrage at some banks being found guilty of collusion over the years. In a statement, the Women's League commented on the Competition Commission for finding those banks guilty and probably for corruption prosecution. Well, several banks in the country have been found to have colluded involving the US dollar to the rand for over 10 years. ANC Women's League has committed to monitoring the development of the corruption case against the implicated banks.